It's the Subway NFL postgame show on CBSSports.com. And, well, if you like offense, you didn't like this game. Baltimore, a 9-7 victory in San Francisco. Longest road trip of the season for the Ravens. They get 3 field goals from Matt Stover, and that's all they needed. It is the fewest amount of points the Ravens have scored in a victory since moving to Baltimore from Cleveland. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz alongside NFL.com's Pat Kirwan and CBS Sports' Charley Casserly breaking down the game. And, Pat, offense was not on the mind of the Baltimore Ravens. They won ugly, but as you say, a win's a win.
You never apologize for winning, Jason, and this is a W for them. They had to go across the country. But what always starting to puzzle me about the Baltimore Ravens is they threw the ball 53 times last week and 43 times today. Now they're at 96 passes. That's not what Brian Billick has been doing in Baltimore since he got there. And I find it intriguing because they're not really throwing the ball down the field. They've kind of made this a check down, little really running game after the snap.
Do they have the guys, though, to throw downfield? I mean, you got Steve McNair throwing, as you said. I mean, you look at his numbers. He's thrown 96 times the last 2 weeks. Charlie, do they have the weapons to go downfield?
Well, I think they do, but number one, like Pat said, they don't challenge it downfield. What's killing them a little bit is they're not getting any yardage after the catch. And talking to the Ravens this week, one of the problems is the receivers are not able to practice. They think they're just a little bit shy in the games for the run after the catch. So they're not getting the extra yardage that you need to get if you're going to throw the ball short. If you throw it short, you got to get yardage there after the catch. They're not getting that.
Yeah, and let me add this, because Willis McGahee ran the ball pretty well today. He's 4 yards a carry. You'd think in a game this tight, which turns into what looks like a defensive battle, you'd feature the running game, yet they continue to throw the ball. And when you look at the numbers, if you go to those stat pages and look at them tomorrow, 7 yards a catch. That's not a very good number.
Mike Nolan used to run this Baltimore defense. Now he saw what it was like to go up against this Baltimore defense. And, well, it was very tough for Frank Gore on this day. Let me ask you this, because a lot of people pick San Francisco to go to the playoffs. Some people picked them to win the NFC West. Mike Nolan came out and said we're going to go to the playoffs. Were the expectations too high?
Well, Charlie and I had this discussion before. I think they won some games late in the year. There was a lot of enthusiasm. They got some momentum off that. And I think in the offseason, everyone raised the bar to an unrealistic spot. And I don't know that they can meet the expectations because they've got some flaws and they're still in development. They're a team in progress, not ready for the big time.
You think the same thing?
I absolutely agree. I think that they're to me, they're a year away. I know Mike Nolan, when I interviewed him, he said, hey, we're going to go to the playoffs this year. And I'm thinking, Mike, I'm not so sure I'd put that out there because people are going to believe it. And if you don't, you're going to have a disappointing season. To me, they're a year away. They've gotten better from last year. But when you look at them, I still think they're short at wide receiver. The tight end, Lewis, has not developed yet to the level that he should. The offensive line, I think, is underachieving. Of course, Alex Smith is out now. Right. Defensively, they have improved. But the guy they really were counting on, Manny Lewis, he's out for the season. So that was a big part of their defense. But they have gotten better as a football team. Right now, offensively, and this was a bad matchup for them. The way to beat Baltimore is you got to throw the ball. These guys can't throw the ball right now.
No, they certainly can't. Trent Dilfer did have that one touchdown pass, but he certainly did not get the revenge on the team that cut him after winning the Super Bowl in the 2000 season. That's it for this game, folks. But for everything else in Week 5 or the rest of the NFL season, be sure to check everything else out on CBSSports.com and all over the CBS Audience Network. For Pat Kirwan and Charley Casserly, I'm Jason Horowitz. We'll see you next week. Take care.